This story from Wisconsin, this crazy son of a bitch, this racist, Klan-loving Senator Ron Johnson is leading this movement in Wisconsin, this Christian fascist movement, to eliminate a bipartisan elections agency that was put together 6-7 years ago by Republicans. They want to eliminate it so that the Republicans in Wisconsin can determine winners and losers. And as reported by the Times, these Christian fascists are engaged in an all-out assault on the state's election system. And this weirdness is building off their attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential race. And what they're trying to do is give themselves, the Christian fascists, full control over voting in the state of Wisconsin. I'll tell you, you people in Wisconsin who are listening to this podcast, if you let this happen, you'll be contributors to this country going headfirst into fascism. Not to put any pressure on you. We have our issues here in Georgia too, but I'm just saying. Now, this effort by the Christian fascists takes direct aim at this Wisconsin Elections Commission. It's a bipartisan commission created by Republicans half a decade ago, and it's been under attack since the aftermath of last year's presidential election when Donald Trump was told to get the fuck out of the White House. And he had to leave, right? Miserable bastard. Now, the onslaught by these Christian fascists in Wisconsin picked up late last month after a report on the 2020 election results that was ordered by Republican state legislators found no evidence of fraud at all. Nothing. Well, that really pissed off the Christian fascists. What? Can we lie about it? And that gave the impetus to these Christian fascist-led legislature in Wisconsin, fueling their demands for more control of elections. What? You mean Biden won it fair and square? Well, that can't happen again. This is, see, while the Democrats are working for the American people with this bill that they have been working on for months because of dissension within the Democratic Party, and finally got it passed through the House. While they're doing that, the Christian fascists are doing everything they can. Now they've moved down to the state level to try to destroy everything this country aspires to. Everything. And replace it with a religious sewer of just craziness of Christian fascism. Dear God. And in addition to this, the sheriff of Racine County in Wisconsin, who is one of Trump's favorite butt boys, Racine County is the fifth most populous county, it says here, in the state. And the sheriff there recommended felony charges against 5 of the 6 members of the Election Commission for guidance that they had given to municipal clerks early in the pandemic. The Republican majority leader of the state Senate gave a green light to that proposal, saying that, quote, prosecutors around the state should determine whether to bring charges. What did they do? Well, what they did was they opened their mouths and tried to advise local boards of elections on how to handle people coming in to vote at the beginning of the pandemic. And that's what these Christian fascist thugs are trying to use. They want to put the people on the Election Commission into jail. The Republicans and the Democrats. Jail them because they did their job. This is how fucking sick and serious this is. Now, I've been screaming and wheezing about this for what? Well, actually for years, but I mean really over the past couple of months because of what these demons, these Christian demons, are showing that they're capable of doing. And then last week, this Ron Johnson devil said that Republican state lawmakers should unilaterally just assert control of federal elections in the state. And he claimed that they had the authority to do so, even if the governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers, who's a Democrat, even if he stood in their way. And what Johnson was proposing was an insane legal argument that was kicked to the curb way back in 1932 by a Supreme Court ruling, and then a 1964 ruling from the Wisconsin Supreme Court that no, you can't do shit like that. But Ron Johnson, being a devout Christian Nazi, he didn't give a fuck about what? Supreme Court? Supreme shit, you know. God's law is what I'm following, right? And Johnson's ideas were echoed by some crazy fucker named Michael Gableman, who is a fascist former state Supreme Court justice. And it's this guy who's conducting this inquiry for the Nazis in the state legislature. Michael Gableman. Never heard his name before. Probably will hear it again. Now, what Ron Johnson, this sorry Klansman, is saying in an interview on Wednesday, he said that control of elections in Wisconsin by the Republican, the Christian Fascist Party, is absolutely necessary because, quote, he believes Democrats cheat. Democrats cheat? This is what he said, quote, do I expect Democrats to follow the rules? Unfortunately, I probably don't expect them to follow the rules, and other people don't either, and that's the problem. Now, end quote. Now, this sorry son of a bitch, this Ron Johnson, I mean, he continues to promote these insane theories on topics like COVID vaccines or what really happened on January 6th at the U.S. Capitol. I mean, this fucker is definably out of his crawl space. He really is. You have to understand, people, I'd like to hear one of these officials say, you have to understand what's going on here. These son of a bitches are trying to destroy the aspirations of a democratic republic. The aspirations found in self-rule, self-governance, equal protection under the law. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.